1. You will hear a conversation between a gym staff member and a customer discussing gym membership options, facilities, and enrollment procedures. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now listen and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Zenith Fitness Center. This is Jacob speaking. How can I assist you today?
Hi Jacob. This is Sophia. I'm looking to enroll in a gym membership but need more details about the membership plans, fees, and the facilities you offer.
Of course, Sophia. We have a variety of plans to suit different needs. Could you tell me a bit about what you're looking for? Are you more focused on group classes, individual training, or general gym access?
I'm mainly interested in general access to the gym and maybe a few group classes. Do you have options for that?
Absolutely. We offer 3 main membership plans. The basic plan includes general gym access and costs $30 per month. The standard plan includes gym access plus unlimited group classes for $45 per month. Then there's the premium plan, which adds personal training sessions and spa access, costing $70 per month.
I think the standard plan might suit me best. Do you offer any discounts for long-term commitments?
Yes, we do. If you pay for 6 months in advance, you get a 10% discount, and for an annual payment, the discount increases to 20%.
That sounds great. What facilities are included in the gym access?
Our gym access includes cardio machines, weight training equipment, and a dedicated stretching area. Additionally, we have locker rooms with showers, and members can use the swimming pool and sauna.
That's good to know. Are there any additional charges for the locker rooms or the swimming pool?
Not at all. These are included in all our plans. However, if you'd like a personal locker assigned to you for the duration of your membership, it costs $8 extra per month.
I see. I might consider the personal locker later. What about the group classes? What types do you offer?
We have a wide range of group classes, including yoga, Zumba, Pilates, spin classes, and strength training. These are available throughout the week, with morning, afternoon, and evening slots to fit different schedules.
That's perfect. Can I book the classes online?
Yes, you can. We have a mobile app where members can book classes, check schedules, and even track their fitness progress.
That's really convenient. What are your opening hours?
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
We're open Monday to Friday from 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. On weekends, we operate from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That's a good range. Is there an enrollment fee?
Yes, there's a one-time enrollment fee of $25, which covers your membership card and initial orientation with a trainer.
All right. Could you tell me more about the orientation?
Certainly. During the orientation, one of our trainers will guide you through the gym, explain how to use the equipment safely, and even help you create a basic workout plan tailored to your goals.
That's really helpful. What about payment options? Can I pay online?
Yes, we accept payments online via credit or debit card, or you can pay at the reception desk. For the 6-month and annual plans, you can also opt for monthly auto debit.
I'll probably pay online. One last question, do you have any family membership options?
Yes, we do. Our family plan includes up to 4 members and costs $120 per month. It also gives everyone access to the swimming pool and group classes.
That's great, but I think I'll stick with the standard plan for now. Could you please enroll me?
Certainly. Let me take down your details. Could you please spell your full name for me?
Sure, it's Sophia Bennett. That's Sophia
Got it. And could you provide your contact number and email address?
My phone number is 555-673-1234, and my email is sophia.b@gmail.com.
Thank you, Sophia. I'll email you a confirmation shortly. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all for now. Thank you so much, Jacob.
Goodbye.
That is the end of Part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 1. Part 2. You will hear a community health worker providing information about the health fair. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our annual Community Health Fair. We're thrilled to have you here today. This event is designed to encourage healthier living while connecting community members with essential wellness resources. A range of services is offered at varying costs, some entirely free, while others involve minimal charges. However, the type of service and its availability may differ depending on the time and demand. For instance, certain health consultations and workshops might fill up quickly or require prior registration. Let me outline some of the key opportunities you can explore today. Let's begin with the available health evaluations. We're offering assessments for blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and glucose monitoring. Each of these tests is carried out by certified professionals, and results are provided on the spot. Vision and auditory evaluations are being offered, but these are scheduled to end promptly at 2 p.m. Participants arriving after this time will need to explore other services. For your convenience, all screening areas are located near the main entrance, though the vision test has limited slots and operates on a first-come, first-served basis. Additionally, please remember that cholesterol and blood sugar assessments require participants to fast for a minimum of 4 hours beforehand. If fasting wasn't possible, you're welcome to engage in other fair activities or return later when prepared for these specific screenings.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now, let me tell you about the consultation services. These are one-on-one sessions where you can speak directly with health professionals. We have general practitioners, nutritionists, and mental health counselors on site. Each consultation is limited to 15 minutes to accommodate as many participants as possible. The nutritionists will provide advice on balanced diets and meal planning, while the counselors are here to discuss stress management techniques and coping strategies. For those looking to quit smoking, there's a special booth dedicated to cessation programs, including free resources and personalized guidance. Another key feature of the health fair is the series of workshops happening throughout the day. These workshops cover a wide range of topics, such as managing diabetes, improving heart health, and injury prevention. The diabetes workshop will start at 10:30 a.m. in Hall A, while the heart health session begins at noon in Hall B. If you're interested in fitness, don't miss the live demonstration of simple exercises you can do at home, scheduled at 1:30 p.m. in the open activity area. Please remember that seating for workshops is limited, and spots are allocated on a first-come, first-served basis. For families, we've set up a children's wellness zone, where kids can participate in fun activities while learning about health and hygiene. This area is supervised by trained volunteers, and children of all ages are welcome. There's also a vaccination booth nearby offering flu shots and other immunizations. However, vaccines are only available for those who pre-registered online last week. Let me also mention some additional services that might interest you. Free dental checkups are available at the North Wing, but appointments need to be booked at the information desk upon arrival. The fair also has a health resource corner, where you can pick up brochures, booklets, and contact information for local clinics and specialists. While exploring the fair, make sure to stay hydrated. Complimentary hydration points are spread across the venue, offering water at convenient spots. Near the main entrance, you'll find a wellness snack corner featuring nutritious options, including fresh fruit and energy bars, available at affordable prices. If you're looking for a moment to recharge, head over to the relaxation zone. This area, tucked away from the main crowd, is equipped with massage chairs and designated quiet spaces, providing the perfect retreat to unwind after exploring the event. Finally, before you leave, don't forget to visit the feedback station. Your input is vital in helping us improve future health fairs. Participants who complete a feedback form will be entered into a raffle to win health-related prizes, including fitness trackers and gym memberships. We hope you enjoy your time here and take full advantage of the services offered. If you have any questions, our volunteers in bright green shirts are happy to assist you.
That is the end of Part 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 2. Part 3. You will hear a conversation between a university tutor and a student discussing the feedback on her essay and ways to improve it. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi Emma, I've gone through your essay, and I must say, you've picked an interesting topic. Discussing the impact of technology on communication is very relevant today. You've included some great points, but we need to work on improving the structure and clarity. Let's start with the introduction.
Sure, I felt like my introduction was okay, but I wasn't completely sure if it set the right tone.
The introduction isn't bad, but it feels a bit vague. You mentioned how technology has changed communication, but you didn't clearly outline your thesis. Readers should immediately understand what your argument is. For instance, you could state whether you believe technology has mostly positive or negative effects. Right now, it feels like you're just summarizing general ideas.
Oh, I see what you mean. So, I need to take a stronger position.
Exactly. Moving on to the body paragraphs, I noticed some issues with organization. Your first paragraph discusses social media, but then you jump to online work meetings in the next one. It's better to group related ideas together. For example, you could start with personal communication, then move on to professional communication. This will help the essay flow more smoothly.
That makes sense. So, I should focus on organizing similar ideas together.
Yes, and another thing, your second paragraph has strong examples, but they lack analysis. You mentioned that video calls have made meetings easier, but you don't explain why or how. Try to elaborate on your examples to strengthen your argument.
Okay, so I need to add more explanation after giving examples.
Exactly. Let's talk about your conclusion. It summarizes your points well, but it introduces new information about virtual reality. Conclusions should wrap up your essay, not add new ideas. You could save that for another essay or expand on it in the body paragraphs if you want.
Got it. So, I'll revise the conclusion to only restate the main points.
That's right. Now let's discuss your language and tone. Overall, your language is clear, but there are areas where you could use more formal expressions. For instance, instead of saying, a lot of people, you could say, many individuals. It's a small change, but it makes your writing sound more academic.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
I didn't realize that. I'll try to be more formal in my revisions.
One last point about your essay. Make sure you address both sides of the argument. You focus a lot on the benefits of technology, but what about the downsides? For example, the loss of face-to-face communication could be an important point to consider. Addressing counterarguments makes your essay more balanced and convincing.
I was worried that including negatives might weaken my argument, but I see now it's important.
Absolutely. You don't need to spend equal time on both sides, but acknowledging opposing views shows depth in your analysis. Before I forget, I also wanted to mention your citations. While you included some sources, they aren't consistent. For example, you cited one study fully, but only mentioned the author's name for another. Make sure you follow a consistent referencing style, like APA or MLA.
Okay, I'll fix the citations to make them consistent.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about the word count. Your essay is 950 words, which is over the limit. You'll need to cut it down by at least 100 words. Concentrate on avoiding details or topics that are overdone.
That's true. I did feel like I was repeating myself in some sections.
Exactly. For instance, your point about social media improving relationships is mentioned in both the introduction and the second body paragraph. Just pick one place to include it.
Got it. I'll check for repetition and cut it down.
Great. Lastly, let's talk about your transitions. While your ideas are good, they don't always connect well. For example, at the end of your first body paragraph, you move to the next point without a clear link. Adding a sentence like, another aspect to consider is, would make the transition smoother.
So, I need to add linking sentences. Right?
Exactly. Smooth transitions make your essay easier to read and follow. So, to summarize, focus on clarifying your thesis, organizing your points logically, elaborating on your examples, addressing counterarguments, and improving transitions. And don't forget to stick to the word count and fix your citations.
Got it. But sometimes I feel overwhelmed with all the revisions. Do you think I should focus on one section at a time?
Absolutely. It's best to break the revision process into manageable steps. Start with the major issues, like restructuring paragraphs and clarifying your thesis. Once that's done, move on to smaller details, such as improving word choice or fixing grammar. And remember, it's okay to take breaks in between to stay fresh. Rushing through everything might cause you to overlook important details.
Thanks so much for the feedback. I feel like I have a much clearer idea of what to do now.
You're welcome, Emma. You've got a solid foundation here. With these changes, your essay will be much stronger. Just take it one step at a time, and you'll do great.
That is the end of Part 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 3. Part 4. You will hear a presentation about the ethical and scientific aspects of zoos. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen and answer questions 31 to 40.
Zoos have long been a place of fascination and education for people of all ages. Originally established to display exotic animals, their purpose has evolved significantly over the years. Today, zoos are considered vital institutions for wildlife conservation. They not only entertain visitors but also play a crucial role in protecting endangered species and promoting biodiversity. To understand their importance, we must first explore their origins and how they have adapted to meet modern conservation goals. The history of zoos can be traced back thousands of years. Ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, Greeks, and Chinese, kept animals in captivity as symbols of power and wealth. These early zoos, often called menageries, were not focused on the welfare of the animals. Instead, they were more like private collections for royalty and the elite. The conditions were harsh, and the animals were often poorly cared for. Over time, however, the concept of zoos began to shift. By the 19th century, zoos were no longer just displays of wealth. They became public attractions where people could see animals from faraway lands. The turning point came in the mid-20th century when concerns about animal welfare and the environment grew. Zoos started to adopt a more scientific approach. They began focusing on research, education, and conservation. This shift was driven by the alarming rate at which wildlife habitats were being destroyed. As industrialization and urbanization expanded, many species faced extinction. Zoos realized they could serve as a refuge for these animals, providing them with a safe environment and breeding programs to increase their numbers. One of the most successful examples of conservation in zoos is the story of the giant panda. Native to China, giant pandas were once on the brink of extinction due to habitat loss and low reproduction rates. Zoos around the world collaborated with Chinese authorities to create specialized breeding programs. Thanks to these efforts, the panda population has increased significantly, and the species is no longer classified as endangered. This achievement highlights how zoos can make a real difference. Zoos also play a key role in educating the public about wildlife and the challenges animals face in the wild. Many people, especially those living in urban areas, rarely have the opportunity to see wild animals in their natural habitats. Zoos bridge this gap by offering an up-close experience. Through interactive exhibits and educational programs, visitors learn about the importance of protecting wildlife. For example, some zoos organize talks about the threats of deforestation, climate change, and illegal poaching. These programs inspire visitors to take action, whether it's donating to conservation efforts or adopting eco-friendly habits. Another critical aspect of zoos is their contribution to scientific research. In a controlled environment, scientists can study animal behavior, biology, and health in ways that are not possible in the wild. This research often leads to better strategies for wildlife management and habitat restoration. For instance, studies conducted in zoos have provided valuable insights into the diets, breeding habits, and social structures of endangered species. This information is then used to improve conservation efforts in the wild. However, the role of zoos in conservation is not without controversy. Critics argue that keeping animals in captivity is unethical, even if the purpose is conservation. They believe animals belong in their natural habitats, not in enclosures. Some also question whether zoos truly help conservation or if they focus more on attracting visitors. In response, many modern zoos have adopted a more transparent approach. They emphasize ethical practices and work closely with wildlife organizations to ensure their efforts benefit the animals. Moreover, zoos are moving toward creating more naturalistic habitats for their animals. Gone are the days of small cages and barren enclosures. Today, zoos design spaces that closely resemble the animals' natural environments. These enclosures provide animals with room to roam, climb, and interact as they would in the wild. Such changes improve the physical and mental well-being of the animals, making zoos a more ethical and sustainable option. Zoos are also playing a growing role in tackling global environmental challenges. Many institutions are involved in habitat restoration projects and the reintroduction of species into the wild. For example, the Arabian oryx, once extinct in the wild, has been successfully reintroduced because of breeding programs in zoos. Similarly, zoos are helping amphibian species threatened by disease and climate change by providing safe environments where they can recover and breed. Additionally, zoos contribute to the local economy and community development. They provide jobs, support tourism, and often engage in community outreach programs. By involving local populations in conservation activities, zoos create a sense of shared responsibility for protecting wildlife. Looking ahead, the role of zoos will continue to evolve. Advances in technology, such as virtual reality, are allowing zoos to create even more engaging and educational experiences. Some zoos are also exploring the use of artificial intelligence to monitor animal health and behavior more effectively. These innovations are likely to make zoos even more impactful in their conservation efforts. Looking ahead, the role of zoos will continue to evolve. Advances in technology, such as virtual reality, are allowing zoos to create even more engaging and educational experiences. Some zoos are also exploring the use of artificial intelligence to monitor animal health and behavior more effectively. These innovations are likely to make zoos even more impactful in their conservation efforts. In conclusion, zoos have come a long way from their origins as mere collections of exotic animals. They are now key players in the fight to save endangered species and preserve.
That is the end of Part 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers to Part 4.